This is your friend, Dr. Arle Imperio, and we are now live in our YouTube channel in Forever Healthy Products. All you need to do, my dear friends, is to immediately or as soon as possible click like and then give some of your comments or suggestions and then subscribe. Because if you click the subscription button below, every time we will be having a video posted, you are immediately notified. And this is being recorded, so you can just simply review what we have discussed. Now, I will be focusing on the commonly asked questions on health, wellness, and prevention. And this is the awareness that we should always have, and I will give you the answers that you might need. So, Forever Healthy Products, as we have mentioned, is focusing on any products that will help us to be more healthy now, as soon as possible, and as long as possible. Therefore, it's Forever Healthy Products. And we'll be focusing at the same time on what is a healthy lifestyle. So you can use this lecture, my dear friends, to talk on health to your loved ones and friends by simply mastering these slides that I'll be showing in a few moments. And at the same time, just simply forwarding the video to your loved ones and friends. And let the video do the talking for you. Let me do the talking for you. So, one of the questions are on health and sickness. So you can simply remind the your listener or your friend, what experience would you like to, let's say, have? And the obvious answer is health, right? But oftentimes we need to be reminded by asking the question. So what would you like to experience, health or sickness? And the answer obviously is health. And then after having given your program on how to be more healthy, of course there is cost involved. And they would usually ask you, oh, okay, how much is it anyway? And you can simply answer by saying, which is more expensive, staying healthy or getting sick? Obviously, getting sick is more expensive. And then remind everyone that everyone is getting older. So one question that you may ask is, 10 years from now, you would be 10 years older, right? It's a no-brainer question. But the point that you would like to emphasize is, when is the best time to delay aging? Is it 10 years from now? You are 10 years late. Or is it now? Of course, the answer is now. Now, remind the person that in anything we want to get in life, there are always three requirements. First, you must be healthy. Second, you must have the resources or money. And third, you must have the time freedom to enjoy it. So, for example, others are healthy, but they don't have money. Others have all the money in the world, but they are now sick. Others, they are healthy and have the means or the resources or money, but they might not have the time to enjoy it. Time is elusive. Remember, time is gold. Health, you can get it back. Money, you can get it back. But time, it's always in the present. It's always in the now. So since you have it now, you might as well enjoy it now because it will never come back. That's why many would say that time is gold. To get what you want, as what we have just focused upon, you need health, money, and time, right? The good news is that our company, Forever Healthy Products, has provided the means on how to enjoy these three things. We have what you call the Livelihood Legacy Program. These are the three main goals of Forever Healthy Products. So life, obviously that is health, right? So we will be providing the knowledge on prevention. We will be providing you the best products in the market that will support health in many ways. And in order for us to get them for free, quote and unquote, as much as possible, then we have a livelihood program. So that's money. But remember, we have a system wherein what you do now with Forever Healthy Products will be passed on to the next generation. We have what you call the legacy program, where what you do now, you can enjoy it now, but when you're gone, it will be passed on to your family, to your children, to your grandchildren, and you will be remembered because it's passed on to them. Usually, I would ask this question, do you know the name of your mother? Of course, you know the name of your mother. How about the name of the mother of your mother? That is your grandmother. Of course, you still know that. But who is what's the name of the grandmother? Or that's a great grandmother, and probably you won't remember. So the same thing, my dear friends, your child obviously will remember your name. Your grandchild will also remember your name. Your great-grandchild may remember your name if every now and then you meet together, and every time the child has a birthday or you have some regular bonding time together, usually that great-grandchild may not remember you at all. You no longer exist. However, if there is a legacy, an inheritance that you have given that will help everybody to be more healthy and have the resources to enjoy more about life, you will always be remembered. Okay? Then, we'll now go directly now to the main topic today. So you show this slide. Show o kaya draw it in the piece of paper. This is you. This is how important this is because it relates to you and me. Do you want to live as long as possible or long life? Of course. But there is a problem. There is what you call premature death, and there is no treatment for death because it's already death. We call this mortality rates. Based on the death certificates or mortality rates, the top 3 are: number 1, heart attack; number 2, stroke. What's the organ in the heart attack? Of course, it's the heart. What's the organ in the stroke? That's the brain. What's the and then number 3 is cancer. What's the organ involved? It could be any organ. But take note, heart attack and stroke, this could be instant. That's why it was described as an attack. It can come anytime, in the least moment you might not expect it. And the best way to deal with it is to be brought within 60 minutes to the intensive care unit in order to increase the chance of survival. That's how serious it is. Cancer, you may have several months or years to live, right? But it's still the same story. When things become serious, you ended up in the ICU or the intensive care unit. So here is how you and I can live longer. The basic strategy is to have an advanced checkup. You have yourself screened every now and then, and every year you must have a complete regular medical physical examination. This is actually being said by every doctor to their patients, but I am reminding you that that is the most important thing. Do not wait for the health problem to come, because when the health problem comes, obviously you will also have your own checkup, right? But you might be already compromised in terms of health. So the idea of having an advanced checkup is to detect as early as possible if there is a possible health problem. Because in medicine, prompt diagnosis and early treatment can be curative, even with cancer. If the cancer was diagnosed early enough and promptly dealt with, it can be cured. However, what happens is that cancer was discovered at stage 3 or stage 4 when there are already symptoms of bleeding, right? Sudden weight loss, let's say weakness, and so forth. Then the person will now seek medical attention and would have a diagnosis of stage 4 cancer. Too late. We could have acted years before or earlier. So that's the idea of having an advanced medical checkup. So this is the formula to live longer, because you like to live longer, and the top 3 causes of early death is heart attack, stroke, and cancer. Then we combine it with a healthy lifestyle. And I'll be focusing on that, my dear friends, on what is a healthy lifestyle. And take notes and be ready to share it to others. The healthy lifestyle that we'll be talking in a few moments would guide you to experience health in 4 levels. The first level is physical health. The second level is emotional health. The third level is mental health. And the highest level is spiritual health. Oftentimes, the focus is only on physical health. And take note, that's only one of the levels of wellness. In the spectrum of health, or wellness, and disease, physical health is the lowest level. But there are higher levels, which is emotional, mental, and spiritual. If you will follow the healthy lifestyle, which I would be sharing and recommending to you in a short time, you will experience these 4 levels of wellness. So, for our physical health, the basic medical checkup that you should have every year, so I suggest you put this into your notes. Number 1 is to have your blood pressure checked. Why? Because in hypertension, usually when hypertension develops, there is no symptom. The only way to know is if you will have a blood pressure checkup. That's why it is a very dangerous factor. In fact, it's the number 1 risk factor for cardiovascular disease, specifically for stroke, right? So by having your blood pressure regularly checked, and if it's normal, then at least you can be confident you are moving away or trying to avoid a stroke. And number 2 is the ECG, electrocardiogram. This will at least see if there is a pathology in your heart. The earlier you know it, the better. Then the chest X-ray, this is to evaluate your lungs and correlate it with the lungs. And lipid profile is to evaluate your cholesterol level, because this is a common problem, because the foods that we usually take are rich in fats. And the common experience, therefore, is the elevation of our cholesterol or hyperlipidemia. And then, as you get older, type 2 diabetes may come into our life, because there is now decreased insulin production because the pancreas are aging. So you have to monitor your blood glucose, right? And then urinalysis is to immediately check, at least at the basic level, the status of your kidney. You get it, my dear friends? So be sure every year these parameters are done and they are normal. If there are findings, just coordinate with your doctor. And together with a healthy lifestyle, which we'll be discussing now, you have the best formula for better health. The lifestyle that we'll be discussing will contain these elements. Now, I made an acronym, an affirmation, where all you need to do is to memorize the affirmation as often as you can. And during your quiet moments, try to review every day, first thing in the morning, as often throughout the day, and before you sleep at night. How healthy was your lifestyle today? Or what are the elements? So I made the affirmation. It's easy. Daily, I am a new star. So you can see now in the slide, it's in color, right? Daily, I am a new star. So let's analyze it. When you say daily, it's every day. Don't think about the future. Don't think about the past. You can only change what you can have today. That's why the affirmation reminds you of the importance of health. Daily, I am. I am means the present moment. Because there is only one moment, my dear friends. It's only now. The future is yet to come. The past is already past. You cannot do anything about them. The future, you might end up being worried. The past, even though good or bad they were, you can no longer do anything about it. But the window period where there is at least something that you can do, it's in the now. Just focusing on doing things correctly in the present moment, and the past will take care of itself, and the future will also be brighter by just focusing on what you can do today. So, daily I am. That's the purpose of that first phrase. And then, a new star. These are the elements of a healthy lifestyle. Number 1, attunement. That is trusting in God. Be sure that your mind is focused on the goodness of God. And God has 3 basic qualities. It's omnipotent. Omnipotent means He is all-powerful. Omniscient, that means He is all-knowing. And omnipresent, He is present all the time. Those are the basic qualities. So, when you start thinking on these ideas, automatically your mind is being attuned to God. So that is the first thing that you should have, because if you're attuned to God, He will guide you every moment of the day. So be sure you do this first thing in the morning when you wake up in the morning, and do it last thing before you sleep at night, and as often throughout the day. Just focus on God. You say, God, I love you. God, thank you for loving me. Or anything that you feel may remind you to God. You may be a Buddhist, a Muslim, a Christian, or even an agnostic, but still recognizing a supreme intelligence. Then simply connect. That's the attunement. And then, new, that's N-E-W. N is nutrition. And then E is exercise. W is water. So nutrition, the idea is to have a well-balanced meal. And we discussed in our previous broadcast, if you have a well-balanced meal, you generally do not need food supplementation. However, if your meal is not well prepared, you must take food supplementation. And food supplementation actually is focused on anything that you were not able to take on your regular diet. And one dietary supplement which I think you should take note is nucleotide supplementation, because generally they are low in amounts in our daily food intake, even though you have a well-balanced meal. Exercise, the best form of exercise is walking exercise, aerobic exercise, brisk walking at least 30 minutes every day. Water is very important because our body is composed of about 60 or 70% water. We have what you call the extracellular fluid and intracellular fluid. There is water inside the cell, there is water between the cells, and that's how important water is. It's a medium wherein many electrolytes and vitamins and minerals are being carried over. And water is a very important component. And usually we don't drink water sufficiently. And then sunbathing, temper control, and air, that's the star. So sunbathing, I would suggest you do your sunbathing between sunrise to 9 o'clock in the morning, and from 4 o'clock to sunset in the afternoon. You expose your entire body to the sun for about 15 minutes. And research have shown that 15 minutes sunbathing exposure will already help generate vitamin D at 400 international units per day. And vitamin D on research is one of the most important vitamins that you must have every day. And the good news is when you do your sunbathing, you will get the adequate amounts needed by the body on a daily basis. But I would mention at the same time, especially during the first 5 minutes of sunrise, is to directly look at the sun, to let the sunbeam enter the body through the eyes, hit the optic chiasma, stimulate the hypothalamic apparatus and the pituitary gland, and then let that electrical energy be distributed to every part of your body. The second chance to do that is during sunrise. You look at the setting sun and you will notice, you will feel the electrifying, vivifying effect. So that's sunbathing, my dear friends. And then temper control. Just always be aware that it's okay to shout, it's okay to be angry, but internally you are not really angry. In fact, you might be laughing because these are just situations where if you look back 5-10 years from now, it's nothing, right? But the point, my dear friends, when you really get angry, the body's fight and flight response will be triggered, and the body will be in an emergency mode. It's either you fight or you run away. But that will release a lot of hormones that will put a lot of stress into the body. One of them is the cortisol hormone, but there are many other hormones. And then you feel bad. Why? Because you released a lot of biochemical substances that will make you do so. But the important thing is that you should always feel happy, full of gratitude, full of thankfulness, and these are the elements that will promote health. So that's temper control. And then we now have air. We focus on deep breathing. Right? Abdominal breathing is one of them. There are techniques on how to do that. But if you do your exercise every day, breathing more air is automatically done. Now, here is now one good component, and there are how many of them? 4 of them. The letter R. First is rest. You rest in order to be restored, so it's restoration. And you rest in order to be more energized, that's rejuvenation. And the long-term benefit is it delays the aging process through regeneration. And this is done when you are in a resting mode. So the idea here is to rest before you get tired. Do not wait when you are fully stressed and you will rest. Do not wait when you are exhausted and fatigued and you will rest. No, the idea is to rest in advance. Rest before you get tired. One simple technique is to rest 5 minutes every 30 minutes. And you will notice if you do that technique, even though you work from morning to night, you will never get tired so much. Why? Because you are resting before you get tired. And it is when you rest, the idea is restoration and rejuvenation and regeneration. So this is just an overview, my dear friends. In our next episodes, I will be discussing each element in more detail. For example, on nutrition, we can talk about that for 20 minutes. Exercise, another 20 minutes. Water, another 20 minutes. You get it, my dear friends? There is more to follow. But I just gave you an overview. So, how to live longer? Have your annual medical checkup done regularly. Have a healthy lifestyle. And a healthy lifestyle is trusting God, taking proper food, exercise, taking lots of water, doing your sunbathing, temper control, air, and then rest, restoration, rejuvenation, right? Recreation, if you may add it, to lead up to regeneration. So that's it, my dear friends. Until our next broadcast, this is your friend, Dr. Arle Macasiano Imperio, always reminding everyone that prevention is always better than getting the best cure. And always remember that we are making history with the noble efforts of our two leaders on planet Earth, and that is Leon Katz and Susan Barlin. God bless you. In the Philippines, we say, mabuhay until our next episode.